it when you hold me, but do I wanna call you mine? I swear I'm not trying to lead you on. I promise I'm not lying, I don't know what I want. And I swear I've been weighing these pros and cons, but I'm still nowhere closer to saying what we're not.
Hello stranger! I'm back with another product review, and this time we'll be talking about one of my top brands of all time, 3CE. They recently released a new line called the Blurring Liquid Lip, which comes in a total of 10 shades and are sold at 760 pesos at the official 3CE Shopee PH store. According to the Nanda site, this line is supposed to give a seamless color payoff, creating a blurred effect over the lips. Looking at the variety of colors they put out, it's pretty obvious that they went for more red and orange shades, as there were only 2 to 3 shades that's on the pinky or nude side, so if you're more into bolder colors, you'll definitely have a lot of choices here. I've adored the brand so much, especially with how pure the color pigment of their matte lipsticks are, and now I have a new set to add to my very extensive collection. You'll be surprised with how many times I switch up my lip game in a day, and 3CE lipsticks have always been my everyday go-to, so for this collection, I'm not expecting any less than wonderful from the line, especially since 3CE in general isn't necessarily cheap. They have a very extensive portfolio in terms of lippies. They have mattes, glosses, lacquers, velvet finish, you name it. There's definitely something out for you in 3CE. Very classic 3CE, the boxes are in the same shade of what you expect the color to be. Put them all together and you have a really eye-gasmic view. They've always been really great at making the color stand out, especially through the packaging. But what surprised me the most is that the texture of the ball itself is made of this very smooth, rubbery material like a cushion. It feels really luxurious, I swear. Whew. So even if you drop this, you wouldn't really worry about the ball breaking or getting scratched. There's a very solid vanilla scent once you open the ball, but it's not overpowering, and you wouldn't really smell this once you apply it on the lips. The formula is like a thick, moussey cream. Usually formulas aiming for that blurred, smooth lip effect contain a lot of silicone, but for this formula, it doesn't feel that slippery like how silicones would. It's more creamy and very thick. It's very pigmented, one dip in the ball and I swear it already feels too much. It takes a while, as in a while, for the formula to settle or dry down, so I suggest you blot your lips or else you'd see a lot of transfer. But once they do, they don't budge that easy even if you eat or drink.
I was with you, but you were someone new. Opened my eyes and I saw you standing.
These can be removed completely with micellar water, but with normal water, not so much.
Quickly you covered my lips. I've dreamed of many things, but never this.
I'm not a big fan of the doe foot applicator. It's thin, bendy, and slightly slanted, and it's confusing which side is which. With how creamy and thick the formula is out of the ball, I don't think that this is the best kind of applicator for this type of formula, as the application experience could be a little bit messy. However, despite looking really thick upon initial application, the formula actually feels really weightless on the lips, and I swear you'd really forget even wearing one. The formula doesn't cling on dry patches, they're not patchy to apply, and the color looks so vivid, it's out of this world. But I think the blurring effect is more apparent when you smile or stretch your lips. But with a normal poker face, I don't really see the blurring effect that much. What do you think, guys? Also, have I told you that they're very pigmented? I have? Okay, I'll show you again and elaborate more on the formulation while doing the swatches. And since I think this line is pretty good for both gradient lip and full lip application, I'll be trying out both styles so we can see how they'd fare out. First up, we have Nude Scene. This is a peachy pink, perfect for the laid-back days or when you feel like going for a more subtle, no makeup look. It feels so creamy while applying this, but since it's so pigmented, I always fear that I'm gonna go overboard. The doe foot applicator doesn't really help much on this dilemma. Maybe if they had a sturdier wand, it would really improve the application experience. I really love this color, and I love how the colors actually stay the same or look the same as they do during initial application, so I really get the color that I paid for. Next, we have Chapter Pink, which is like a magenta or neon pink. Not my kind of pink, a little too bold for me. I've said this 1,000 times on my previous videos, so this isn't really a surprise, but I'm thinking that I can make this work for myself by doing a gradient lip instead. I do think that this color is really good at brightening up my skin, and I wonder how this would fare for skin tones darker than mine. Comparing this to the actual photos on the Nanda site, I feel like the photos on the Nanda site are a lot lighter or muted than how the colors actually are in real life, which is a lot more vivid.
Tell me who's that boy over there? No, making eyes, making me stare. Well, I don't know your name, but can I call you Mona Lisa? I cannot put your picture on my wall. I just wanna know, can I be with you? Let me take the fall. What are you got, heart? You got so.
Next, we have Stay Away. This is more on the orange side, and I love orange lipsticks. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'd wear orange lipstick even if you say that I don't look good in them. This, however, isn't a full-blown orange. It's like a peachy muted orange. So if you're kind of scared of trying orange shades but want to try still, I think this is a good starting off point.
We all know you got a bad for each other. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Well, tell me who's that boy over there? Nah, making eyes, making me stare. Oh, well, I don't know your name. Can I call you Mother Nature? Or will you let me fertilize your field? I just wanna know what basic creatures.
Going more to the more orange red shades, this is probably one of my favorites. Well, not probably, this is one of my favorites. It's a gorgeous orange with a tiny bit of red in it. I'm obsessed with this shade. Also, I feel like in terms of blurring effect, this is one of those shades that really blurs out my lips, even when I'm on my bitch face mode. Overall, I just love it. What do you guys think? Am I pulling it off?
Yeah, I just wanna know, can I be with you? Let me know today. What's that? Oh, well, can I call you sometime soon, girl? I just wanna know if that's alright. Know that I might seem awful rude. I'm just blinded by your eyes.
Next, we have Stick Around, which still has some orange in it, but this is more red than orange. This really reminds me of that vid of Gigi Hadid with Vogue. She was wearing this orange red lip shade, and I remember being obsessed with the color, and now I think this is a close one with whatever she was wearing in that video. I love this. If you're looking for an orange shade that's more socially acceptable, not that we have to bend for society's taste, then this is it.
Hey, she makes one out. She makes one out of thing that. Let me take a shower afterward that I can't get out of. How can I get out of it all? All the people in the house. Yeah, you gotta get out. Them pretty ladies don't count. Y'all know who to get out. Who to get out. When I'm in the mood for a babe. When I'm in the mood for a babe. Oh, she makes one out. Yeah, she makes one out. She takes one out of me. If you tell me how you like it, we can go far.
Next, we have Bearberry, which is another favorite of mine. It's the wine color of the collection, and I honestly can't get over with how pigmented these are. You can definitely see that I'm struggling to not go overboard. It's both a blessing and a curse, but I think in the long run, this is more of a blessing. Think about the amount of product you're gonna save just because it's so pigmented.
Long you do it all, you do it all. Well, you must not know about me. You must not know about me. I'm in the boardroom, baby. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I taste like whiskey. I taste like ashes of black coffee. I was naughty, then she caught me now.
Last one that I have is Claret, which based on the photos on the site is like a very deep red. It felt like it was the truest red on the line based on the photos, but in person it actually has a lot more pink in it. If you put a lot, the color looks like a ruby red, but if you thin it down, you can actually see the pink in it. It's a good variation for the red shades in the line. Unfortunately, the shades that I skipped out on are more on the very red side, so it's something we can really compare on that much. Sorry, out of budget. The beauty of this is that they stay true to their color. They do leave a stain if you have them on for so long, and they don't easily fade even when you eat or drink water. I even tried showering with this on, and nope, it still left some parts of my lips with some product on. Even if they do fade a little, the color is still the same as when you initially apply them, and that's the beauty of quality ingredients from 3CE. This is what you're actually paying for, the pureness of the color, and it's something evident with the lipstick lines that they put out even going way back. And that wraps up the swatches. Overall, I think it's a pretty good product. However, I don't really love the doe foot applicator. I really dislike it. In terms of blurring effect, I don't really see the product doing that significantly. If you've seen the swatches, you can still see my lip lines, and the blurring effect only becomes visible when I do certain faces. So I don't think that's something stellar or good enough to be used as a highlight for the product. But if you're after the blurring effect, I suggest using the Bearberry Velvet tints, but note that those seem to have more silicone because they tend to be very slippery, and it's the silicone that actually gives the blurring effect on the lips. So that must be why the blurring liquid lip doesn't really excel that much in that field, because it doesn't actually feel that slippery or silicone-y. But how about you? What do you think? Were you impressed? Would you buy this? Drop out the comment section below what you think. If you enjoyed this or this helped you, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe. I guess that's it for now. Until next time, goodbye, stranger.
You don't actually believe a single word I'm saying, do you? Oh, sure, of course I believe you. Great. Just repeat the words I'm about to say, all right? Moon, prism, power, makeup. Right! Moon, prism, power, makeup!